Continue now with our investigation into the millions of taxpayer dollars that appear to have been wasted during the cleanup in the Florida Keys after Hurricane Irma.
Last night, we revealed how the use of 2 emergency contracts by Governor Rick Scott and the Florida Department of Transportation cost taxpayers an additional $28 to $30 million over and above what they should have paid.
CBS 4's Jim DeFede is here now with more on his story. Jim?
The reaction to our story last night has been swift, with Democrats predictably attacking the governor. The governor, however, continues to defend the use of the emergency contracts. But a closer examination of the state's official statements show they raise more questions than they answer.
I thought most of these lessons were learned after previous hurricanes and what we went through 12 years ago with Hurricane Katrina.
Scott Amy is with the Project on Government Oversight, a nonpartisan taxpayer watchdog group that has been around since 1981.
I'm actually shocked to hear that we're kind of making the same mistakes that we made, 10, 15 years ago.
So how did this happen? Before Hurricane Irma hit, there were companies already under contract to remove debris in Monroe County, but Governor Rick Scott and his Florida Department of Transportation disregarded those contracts and pushed through a new agreement. The justification by the governor's office has always been the same. On September 12th, FDOT received a request from Monroe County for assistance. The person the state says made that request is Martin Centerfit, Monroe County's emergency manager.
I did not make a request.
CBS 4 News obtained a copy of this sworn video deposition in which Centerfit was asked about the emergency contract. He said it was this man, Leo Ishat, the deputy director for the state's Division of Emergency Management, that offered the help.
He stated he had resources available and asked if we would like those resources to help. And I said yes.
Did you expect FDOT to go out for emergency bids for third-party contractors to perform disaster debris recovery services?
I did not.
Did FDOT inform you that they were going to go out for an emergency bid for disaster debris recovery services?
No.
Centerfit said when he learned the state was bringing outside companies to come in, he tried to stop it by calling the Director of Emergency Management for the state, Brian Kuhn.
And I asked him what's happening, and he said that, well, DOT was involved with debris collection. And I asked him why, and he said, well, that's what happened. And that was the conversation. He would not go into detail.
In a statement to CBS 4 News last year defending the need for the emergency contracts, the Florida Department of Transportation claimed the pre-event contracts that FDOT had in place include a variety of services that are not strictly focused on debris removal. But in fact, they are. These are those contracts. And as you can see, all they do is focus on debris removal. The high prices paid under the emergency contract to Community Asphalt and Munia Construction Management, better known as MCM, created its own problems. Ron Bergeron is the head of Bergeron Emergency Services, one of the companies that had a pre-existing contract with the state, and said the emergency contract in the Keys actually slowed down debris removal for the rest of Florida.
Absolutely. Well, there's no question about that. You certainly can't make everybody live up to the contract they signed, which I think they should, and then turn around and have prices that are 6-10 times higher.
So, Jim, we understand that the governor's office released a pretty lengthy statement today responding to your report.
So, early this evening, just about an hour and a half or so ago, the governor's office put out one of their famous setting the record straight emails, and its headline, CBS Miami gets it wrong on debris removal, omits context and facts. And what's interesting in this, they make the exact same claims. They say once again that it was Monroe County that asked them to come in, when clearly you heard Martin Centerfit, the emergency manager, say that was not the case. The other thing I found really interesting in this comment is the governor is now formally quoted in this. And one of the things that he says is that I would do the exact same thing again. He thinks he saved taxpayers money, but it's nowhere in here does he actually explain why giving the emergency contracts to 2 companies that were charging among the highest rates, if not the highest rates in the state, saved taxpayers money. They ignore that aspect of our story.
And we should point out that not only did it cost taxpayers more money, it also also made the debris removal process take more time.
Which is the point that Ron Bergeron said, and actually even the governor references that when they talk about the fact that all these debris removal companies hire subcontractors, and those subcontractors, the guy who actually has the trucks, they all went to work for MCM and Community Asphalt and left communities like Coral Gables and other parts of South Florida without the waiting for help. Now, look, the governor also says that he was focused on helping the Keys. I get that. That's an important part of it. But at what cost to taxpayers? And why not hold those companies that had contracts accountable?
Very interesting story, Jim. Thanks for digging in.
You can read almost all of what the governor says on our website. It's all be there.